Guys, we're making changes to this show.
We are. Yeah.
We're making changes to this show.
So no previews at the top.
No previews at the top.
You're never going to cry or say you had the best night of your life.
Yep. I'm going to talk very grounded in every story. They won't be interesting. They're going to be just like it happened.
No exaggerations.
No, very minimal exaggeration. Did you hear that, guys?
Yeah.
I'm trying to tone down my laugh, too. All the things you don't like about me, I'm changing.
By the way, I've listened too. Look at this bare wrist.
He took an Uber X here.
So that was the promise. No exaggerations. Bare wrist, Uber X, all the things you don't like about me, I'm changing. And I'll be honest, at the time I thought there was a chance. Months go by, nothing changed, and here we are. But here's what I want to set up before we start, because this one's different from the other Bert videos. Bert isn't famous because he's funny. He's famous because he was standing next to the right people at the right time. He was in the room with Joe Rogan back when that room was the most valuable thing in comedy, and he was loud enough that you couldn't ignore him. A shirt, a story about the Russian mafia, that never happened, and about a decade of standing near a better podcast. And it worked, right? The guy sells arenas. Good for him. The problem is he thinks it was merit. And this whole video, every clip in order, is the right people quietly backing away. So let's start where the wheels came off. Sober October.
There's no benefit for Garth to go on the podcast.
Incorrect. First of all, they're very nice people. Both Tom and Christina are very nice people, and they'll be very.
I'm going to be devil's advocate.
Shut the f up for a second. And they'd be happy to have Garth on and be nice to him, explain, we're sorry if this hurt your feelings, but if he went on your podcast, I think it would turn around.
For 1,000%. For Tom. No.
For Garth.
No, he's right. I'll tell you why.
Hang on. I'm gonna be. You guys
Why
are
can't you
all.
let him talk for a second?
Because
No, it's his turn. It's Bert's turn.
Are you
Then
sure?
Tom.
yeah,
Yeah, I think so. You shut him up now.
there is
Now he
nothing.
shuts him up, and then you'll shut me up.
But
Nothing benefits
talked
Garth
over
in
him while he
this.
was talking.
There's nothing that benefits Garth in this. I'm just being. And they did the billboard, and I go, "That's not my stomach. My stomach's tight." And it was complete.
You have the craziest, most delusional perspective.
I think I have body dysmorphia.
The text message you sent us the other day, I could do more push-ups than anyone in this group. You
at
thought
the
your belly
moles.
was smaller than that?
That's me at like 220.
Right, but you, at the time, thought your belly was smaller than that.
I thought I was in great shape. I have legit great shoulders, like great shoulders. Yeah,
No, you don't.
Joe, they're ripping through this shirt right now.
Yeah, but you say
No, you
things
just
and you
bought
don't
a
really
boy's
mean
shirt.
it, right? Like,
No, I
when you
kinda mean
say
it.
things
I
and
kinda
you
mean
know
it.
they're
I
not
told you.
true.
I
I
totally
kinda
He does mean it.
He's
kinda
kind
mean
of
it.
joking, and
I
I
kinda
kind of
mean
mean
it.
it, which
Right,
means he means
but
it.
but
kinda
you
mean
say
not joking.
but you say things you know aren't true. Like, you remember that one time you said you could do the split?
Shut the fuck up for a second. That's Joe Rogan on camera, and there's no laugh underneath it. That's a guy who's run out of patience. And notice Bert jumps in with incorrect, before Ari's even finished the sentence, so he can't possibly disagree yet. He hasn't heard it. He just needs to be the one talking. And when Joe asks him to let the guy finish, his answer is, because no, it's his turn. It's his turn, in a conversation. Then the billboard. They put a photo of him on a billboard, and he goes, "That's not my stomach. My stomach's tight." And Joe, not me, Joe, calls it the most delusional perspective he's ever seen. But the line that matters is Ari's. You say things you know aren't true. Keep that one in your head, because in about 7 minutes we're getting an airport story. Anyway, this next bit is Ari explaining why Bert got dropped from Protect Our Parks. And Bert asks a question he really shouldn't have.
As a member of both Sober October and Protect Your Parks.
Oh, yeah, you're the only one.
Protect our parks,
You're the only one.
Please have some respect.
You're the only
Put
one.
respect on their name.
What's that?
Put respect on their name.
We've never watched an episode. We refuse to.
Okay.
We just think it's kind of ridiculous that we got replaced.
Yeah.
Just replaced. Wait, you didn't pick it.
I did pick it. I'm the one who
No, he brought
pitched
them
it.
there.
I said, hey, we're going to Skankfest. We're going a day
hold on.
early. Who wants
You
us?
replaced us?
Yeah.
Why?
Because you were showing me some disrespect off the free drugs I gave you. No, thank you. And then so forth.
Wait. Did we
And
get,
then
hang
I
on.
said,
Did
okay,
we get,
I'll move on.
We got replaced because you drugged me and I didn't enjoy it? Hold on. I thought Joe replaced us.
I said to Joe and Tom, hey,
And Tom.
Yeah, I'm going to be in Austin. I sent them both texts with Norman and Shane. And I said, we got to go to Houston. We can stop for a day before. You want like a four? And Joe's like, yeah.
Just so you know,
Yeah.
I don't care.
Right.
Yeah.
Just so you know, I'm the only one that cares.
Tom's like, I'm running an empire.
But also, I do go, it would be fun to get that Joe.
To get that laid back.
The Protect Your Parks Joe is not Sober October Joe.
Parks. We just get tuned up and all you do is none of us challenge him to fucking workouts. None of us on Protect Our Parks go, let's do a push-up.
So wait, hold on.
contest.
I think I'm getting I'm understanding. Am I the problem?
You're the factor. I wouldn't say problem.
You're a fact. You're a key factor for sure.
Because
like
also,
yeah.
part of it is that when you come in, he's going like, how's this guy alive? You know?
He's like, let's help this guy, not self-help. Now, what's the opposite
This
of
is
self-help?
backfiring totally. So do you think we'll ever do Sober October again?
We should. I got a new special out. That would be a good excuse to come do one.
Yeah, but can I be Joe?
You can be Joe. Let's make him not sit in that seat.
Okay.
Oh, you want to sit in the seat?
I want to be Joe.
What
Okay,
Joe
here's
does that
here-
you don't have the capacity to do is not
listen.
make it all about himself.
Hold on. Off. Hold on. There's a clip. Dude, hold on.
That's a
you. You.
There's got to be a clip out there of you not interrupting.
No.
Fine. Look that up.
I'm not interrupting. I'm having a fucking conversation.
Yeah, okay.
That's how conversations fucking work. And then I go, God, that's crazy. I would never be able to do that. And then, because Joe's done that, he goes, don't make it about you. I go, but that's how life works. I think of things and I go, that's amazing. I could never run 25 miles.
Yeah.
Like I could never run 50 miles. But I'll be Joe. I won't make anything about myself.
Okay.
We'll put Joe in my seat.
I don't think we sit in the same seats there, do we? I'm not sure.
We always sit in the same seat when we do it.
We always sit in this. I'm going to a different seat next time. I'm going to put in earplugs so I don't interrupt anybody. Then I can't hear anybody.
Yeah,
that won't do it.
You just go, it starts now.
Maybe a muzzle.
wait.
You guys got to have a fucking ball gag here.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. That'd be really fun for me.
How would you get French
So
fries in around
how
that?
would you run the show? How would it be different? What would you do?
Welcome to the Bert Experience. The Bert Experience. I'm here with my 3 favorite people.
That's pretty good.
And I start and I go, obviously, Joe Rogan. He's like a big brother to me. I can't wait to get some great life advice from him. I got Tom Segura here, one of my best friends in the world. And obviously, a guy I can't live without, Ari Shafir. Guys, welcome to the podcast. And then I'll go, I'm so sorry, I wasn't listening. Will you say that one more time? I'll do that a lot.
Okay. And then what's the first conversation
I'm
starter?
sorry, I wasn't listening. Say that one more time. It's not. You should just be
Okay,
listening.
I'll just be like, I was listening, and I think that's a great point. I will be like, I'm going to be Joe-centric.
Have you
So
guys ever?
I want Joe to be the star of the show.
Great.
Yeah, because it's my show. I want him to really shine.
Am I the problem? Yes, obviously. And watch Ari try to be nice about it and physically fail. You're a factor. I wouldn't say problem. You're a key factor for sure. He softens it and then halfway through puts the boot straight back in. And the actual reason is brutal. When you come in, he's going like, how's this guy alive? That's what Joe thinks when Bert walks in a room. But the bit I really want to break down is the replacement. Because Bert has built an entire mythology on getting this wrong. He thinks Joe replaced him. He's been carrying it for years. We've never watched that episode. We refuse to. Which is a 53-year-old man boycotting a podcast his friends make without him. And Ari corrects him right there. Joe didn't replace anybody. Ari texted him saying he'd be in Austin with Norman and Shane, and Joe's answer, the answer that ended Bert's run and accidentally created the biggest thing in the JRE catalog, was, yeah. One word. There was no meeting, no decision. Joe just said yeah to whoever was standing there. And that should mess Bert up more than being fired, because it means he was never being chosen in the first place. He was in the room, and then better people were in the room, and then he lands on the real reason without realizing it. None of us on Protect Our Parks go, let's do a push-up. Right, correct. Because Sober October was never a fitness competition, bro. He spent 3 years thinking he lost a game show. He lost an intervention. And it gets worse because Ari then maps out the whole cast list for him.
Who's Bert and who's Tom in Protect Your Parks?
Protect Our Parks. It is. Okay, it's all shifted.
Yeah.
So
Shane's Bert.
No.
Bullshit. I'm not Mark.
No.
Are you me?
I'm you.
You're me?
I'm you. Shane's Joe.
What?
Joe's Tom.
Shut the f up.
Yeah. Joe's
Wow.
Tom. Norman's me, and I'm you. It's Shane's show.
Oh, it's Shane runs it.
Yeah.
Really?
It's Shane's show.
Really?
This is my impression of Joe Rogan when Shane's in the room.
Do your impression of Joe Rogan when I'm in
I'll
the
do
room.
it as Churchill. I'll do Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
Oh no, Lord.
So he fans out on
Yeah, he
it.
fans out hard. Well, we all do a
hilarious.
little bit.
For real?
But, yeah, he loves him.
And who's me again?
I'm you in that I slow it down, and then they're like, unwanted advice comes my way. Oh. Yeah.
You get the, we can fix Ari.
Yeah, and I'm like, what? I'm great. Fine. Yeah, same as you. We're like, I'm not looking to quit drinking.
No, I'm having a really good time.
You're going to have withdrawals. And like, I'm not even going to quit. What are you talking about? You're like, I want to take a day off. And everyone's like, let's get you to the hospital.
So Ari maps the whole show in 20 seconds, and every position is worse for Bert than the one before. And notice where Bert starts. Shane's Bert. Of course. In his head, Shane's playing the Bert role, and Bert's the original template. And Ari doesn't even let him finish. No, bullshit. Shane's Joe. Shane's the sender, Shane's the gravity. And Joe, the actual host, the guy whose name is on the building, Joe's been demoted to Tom. And he's fine with it, because that's what you do when an actual comedian walks in. You get out of the way. And then Ari does the impression, and his own description is, he fans out. He fans out hard. He loves him. And that's the correct response to Shane Gillis, by the way. This is a guy who got the biggest break in American television, had it taken off him inside a week, said almost nothing publicly, went back to the clubs and outworked everybody until they had to give it back. You should fan out. But that fan out is exactly what Bert's been chasing his whole life. It's not the money, he's got money. He wants Joe's face to do that when he walks in. And instead he gets, how's this guy alive?
There are people where you could tell that they're working towards something. They're working towards an angle, and they want to be close to you because you will benefit them. And then there's other people that are just, there's not that many of us, and so we all want to hang out together. Like one of the podcasts I love the most is this podcast I do called Protect Our Parks. It's a thing I do with Ari Shaffir, Shane Gillis, and Mark Norman.
Yeah, it's great.
It's so fun because we just get obliterated and we talk so much.
Yeah.
Like there's conversations after that podcast where I go, hey man, we got to cut that part out.
Yeah.
Because like Shane will go too far, he'll go too crazy, but we're just making each other laugh and it's just fun. And it's like that kind of camaraderie between real comics is very precious to me.
What Joe does that you don't have the capacity to do is not make it all about himself.
Hold on. Off. Hold on. There's a clip. No, hold on.
That's a clip. There's got to be a clip out there of you not interrupting.
No.
Fine. Look that up.
I'm not interrupting. I'm having a fucking conversation.
Yeah, okay.
That's how conversations fucking work.
Agreed. Yeah.
So Joe, unprompted, on the biggest podcast in the world, splits everybody he knows into two piles. Pile 1 is people working an angle who want to be near him because he's useful. Pile 2 is real friends. There's not that many of us. And then he names Pile 2 out loud. Ari, Shane, Norman. Bert's not in the sentence, and the show Joe reaches for as his example of real friendship is the one Bert got dropped from. That kind of camaraderie between real comics is very precious to me. Real comics. That's the phrase. And then 30 seconds later, Ari says it straight into his face. What Joe does that you don't have the capacity to do is not make it all about himself. And Bert's immediate, involuntary response is, hold on, fuck off. No, hold on, there's a clip. He interrupts. He interrupts the sentence about interrupting. Like, I couldn't write that, you guys. And if you think Ari's being harsh, wait till you hear what Joe says sober. October was actually 4.
You know, when we first did the Sober October thing, that was part of the discussion. We were all like, hey, Bert drinks too much.
Yeah.
Like, let's and I smoke too much weed. Let's try to work this out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Turns out smoking too much weed is like way better for you.
I think it is.
He looks like a moon pie. A moon pie with a beard.
He's so swollen. He's so swollen.
And there it is, straight from Joe. We're all like, hey, Bert drinks too much. It was never a challenge. It was never content. It was a group of guys who were scared about their friend, and they wrapped it up as a competition, because that's the only format Bert would ever say yes to. Joe threw in the weed thing as cover so Bert wouldn't feel singled out, which is actually kind of lovely. And Bert spent the years since being bitter it got canceled. They weren't beating you at a game, bro. They were trying to help you, and you were so far gone you experienced it as a trophy you didn't win. And then he looks like a moon pie with a beard. That's his best friends, talking about his body, knowing full well he watches every clip. Anyway, this next clip is Brian Simpson coming on Two Bears. Listen to the first question Bert asks him.
Listen to that round of applause.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Do you remember the first time you met me?
No.
I do.
Wait a minute. Well, no, you remember the first time you met me.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Because I didn't like you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Well, no, because it's you. And I know now that I know you, I just know that you're not like this fucking sparkle razzle dazzle guy. You're like a hi. I heard you on that Two Bears. I was in I was in LA. I was in LA at the time. It was right around the pandemic, I think.
It was a few years ago.
And you had never heard of me. You met me, you never heard of me, and then you did 2 Bears, and I was like, you still never heard of me? And then throughout the whole thing, you brought me up once, and he just went past. He was like, yeah, whatever. And then I tried to become friends again, and I was like, hey, does Brian have a big head? Because I have size 8 head. I have a lot of hats I can give him, and you just were like, I don't think he'd be interested. And I was like, how fucking hard do I gotta try to get these guy to fuck with me?
So Brian Simpson comes on, brand new guest, and the first thing out of Bert's mouth, before hello, before what are you working on, is do you remember the first time you met me? He does this with everyone. Bobby Lee does the same thing. But then look what comes out. How fucking hard do I gotta try to get these guys to fuck with me? That's Bert Kreischer, arena headliner, multiple Netflix specials, describing on his own podcast the time he offered a man hats so he'd want to be friends with him. He had a size 8 head. He had spares. That was the plan. And honestly, that's not narcissism, that's loneliness, and it's uncomfortable to watch. But he's sitting there asking why nobody wants to hang out with him, while proving exactly why. Brian's got 20 years of material, and Bert's opener is what did you think of me? And what he actually wants is what Shane's got. And he thinks it's a technique. Hats, Super Bowl tickets, spots on Fully Loaded. It isn't a move, bro. Shane got that by being the funniest guy in every room for 15 years, and then not talking about it.
A Joe Rogan compliment is better than a regular compliment. If it's about like stand up or bow, I'm sure bow hunting.
No, stand up, or like stand up is a big one. We were at the back at the store, and he was like, "You need to get a Netflix special," and I was like, "I don't know how to do that." He's like, "Be undeniable," and I was like, "What does that mean?" And he's like, "Just be undeniable." And I just was like,
"That's Schultz's new podcast." I don't know. It just sounds like something it would say.
I wrote it in my joke book, and I was like, just be undeniable. And then you start, when you're undeniable on stage and you just crush all the time and people don't want to follow you, then you're like, oh, that's what that is. I had the best getting recognized I've ever had in my life. And Peter's in the other room. What I'm saying is 100% true.
Yeah.
So we're in Vegas. Isla brings her boyfriend to Vegas. He's never had In-N-Out. So Sunday morning, everyone's leaving at like noon. I raced In-N-Out at 10 in the morning to go get In-N-Out for everyone in our party. There's a black man and a black woman. They're dressed in, it looks like they work together. They look like they worked at In-N-Out. We thought they were the greeters, but they're screaming at the top of their lungs, "Get the f*** out of here. What the f*** I said? I'm on your team. I'll f***ing smack you." I mean, I swear to God, I'm not understanding this. If Peter walked in right now, he would nod and say,
they were doing that In-N-Out?
Outside the In-N-Out, at the front doors. And as we walked through the argument, he said, "Motherfucker, woman, goddamn it, Bert Kreischer. Holy shit, you funny as f***. Dap me up." And he goes, I was like, "Yeah, thanks." And he's like, I walked in, he goes, "I said, bitch." It was the f***ing funniest interaction I've ever had in my fucking life.
Wait, and you wanted to kill her?
Did I tell you what?
Wait, you wanted to kill this lady?
Hold on, I got a better one. I got a better one.
What happened with that one?
Hold on, I got this better one.
We got to come back to that.
Tell me, did I tell you about the lady that wouldn't serve me at the airport? I get off the plane in Nashville. I get a celebratory beer because I made it. I'm alive.
Wait, you do a beer when you
Yeah,
land?
what? Let's not nitpick this story. Yes.
Wait.
Okay.
When I land, I get a beer off the plane.
At the terminal?
Yes. I get off the plane. I go to get a celebratory beer, and Pete's with me. And I said, "Yeah, can we get? Do you have Stella?" She goes, "No." And I went, "Okay. Well, Pete's with me." And Pete's go, "I'm gonna go to the bathroom. Can you grab me a beer?" I said,
No
"Yeah,
offer
sure."
of what else they have?
I said, she goes, "No." And I said,
I already hate her.
And so I said, "Well, do you have any Stella-esque?" She goes, "Yeah." I said, "Great, I'll get 2 of those." She goes, "I can only serve you 1." And I said, "Well, no, my buddy just went to the bathroom. You know, he's going to be back in a second, so you might want to just start pouring 2. He's the guy you just saw." And she goes, "I can only serve you 1." And I went, "Okay." And so she goes, "I need to see your ID." And I was like, I'm looking around now. What happens here, little outside part of the story, everyone at the bar recognizes me. Every single person at that bar is a dude who drinks, who's probably heard me say, "Never quit drinking." And they're all recognizing me, and they're coming over and getting pictures. I give her my ID. She hands back my ID, and then she gives me a little sip of beer. Pete arrives at this moment. A little sip of beer, and I go, "What's this?" And she goes, "This is what we have that's like Stella." I said, "Oh, no, it's fine. I'll just take 2 of those." And she goes, "You know what? I'm not comfortable serving you." And
What?
I went, "Excuse me?" And now everyone stops. She goes, "I'm not comfortable serving you. You make me uncomfortable." So what I did, and I was not proud of this, I'm not proud of this, and I wish I didn't do it. I wish I could go back and change life. Is I said, "I apologize if I made you uncomfortable anyway. I have 2 daughters that are roughly your age. I would never want a man to make them feel uncomfortable. I'll go on my way." And I tipped her $20. And she went, "Excuse me?" I said, here's $20 for your trouble. I apologize. And I walked away.
You took the higher road.
I took the high road, but the high road sucks.
It sucks.
It sucks. You know what she said? You know, this was even better. This is even better. You know, everyone at the bar watched this happen. Everyone at the bar was like, what the f-? I walked away. This is what upset me the most, is that someone goes, do you know who you just did that to? And they go, who? And she goes, that's Bert Kreischer. Then she Googles me, and then she's got her own narrative, because he was a total asshole.
I
was a total asshole. Yeah. All the good stuff I did, none of that counts, because she gets to tell her story. I was so angry. I swear to God, my energy was like, what? Like more confused, like hey.
So was it that you got loud? You did something.
I didn't get loud at all.
She just.
What was happening was dudes were recognizing me, and they were and she was like, I think the energy changed in the bar when I showed up, and she couldn't place it, didn't know who I was. I mean, and I just didn't say what I wanted to say.
Yeah, it'd be so nice to Patrice it and just be like, F you.
Yeah.
Get me your manager. You suck.
You say things you know aren't true. Told you we'd come back to it. So the in and out one first. There's a couple outside having a screaming domestic, and mid-argument, at full volume, the guy stops to say, God damn it, Bert Kreischer, you funny as fuck. And the only witness is Peter, who's in the other room. Peter's not walking in, bro. Peter never walks in. But the airport one is a masterpiece, and the way he builds it tells you everything. Every single person at that bar recognizes him. Not a few, everyone. And they're all guys who drink, who've heard him say never quit drinking, randomly assembled at a Nashville gate. They're all coming over for photos, and in the middle of all that, the bartender doesn't know who he is. Can't place him. You see it, right? He needs both. He needs the room full of fans, or there's no story, and he needs her to not recognize him, or she'd have been nice, and there's no villain. So he's built a bar where every human on earth knows Bert Kreischer except the one woman he's talking to. Then the noble bit, I'm not proud of this, and what he's not proud of is that he was polite. That's the shameful part, being nice to somebody. And then someone goes, do you know who you just did that to? And she Googles me. He walked away. He's told us twice he walked away. So how does he know what got said after he left? He doesn't. He wrote it. He wrote himself an ending where she finds out and feels bad, because in reality she poured a beer for a guy she found a bit much and forgot about it by the end of her shift. That's a man who has to invent being recognized. Which matters because the next clip is Joe on Lex, talking about comics who can crush and comics who need a workaround.
They say that socially important comedy is the only comedy that's necessary, the only comedy that you have to do. That is just because they suck.
Yeah.
That is it. It's like the cop-out is that they can't do the real comedy. They can't crush. It's not like someone goes from being, take like Shane Gillis, one of the best comics up and coming right now. He's fantastic. I can't recommend enough seeing that guy live. I work with him in Irvine, and I hadn't seen like his whole set. I was crying. I mean, he's so good.
I heard he's
so
a racist. So I haven't listened to any of his material. No.
He's so good. And his comedy is just trying to be as funny as possible. Yeah. There's not a chance in hell that guy's just going to go woke and is just going to start promoting some sort of, socially conscious agenda that's, facetious and just a bunch of nonsense that he's trying to elevate his own personal brand and virtue signal. That's not going to happen.
If you ask me, like, do I like being famous? Yeah, I do. I don't mind it at all. I actually enjoy it.
Yeah.
And when someone says,
good for you.
I'm sure there's times where it's taxing on my family. It definitely is. We were at Target the other day doing a road trip, and someone got on the loudspeaker and was like, the machine is in the building.
Yeah.
And I heard people scream.
Yeah.
And my daughters got really upset. And Leanne went and chastised the manager and was like, yo, he's with his family. He's trying to have a moment. And I was like, let it go. Who gives a
go?
Quick side note on that Rogan clip, because it's doing more work than it looks like. The cop-out is that they can't do the real comedy. They can't crush. That's a hierarchy, right? Comics who can crush and comics who found a workaround because they can't. And the guy he reaches for as his example, the one he was actually crying at in Irvine, is Shane. So now do Bert. He doesn't do crowd work. That's just documented. He doesn't really write. His entire act for 20 years has been stories about his family, told loud, shirt off, and now the daughters are at college and Leanne's told him she's done being material. So what's left in the drawer? Stories about being recognized. That's the act now. Not jokes, anecdotes about strangers knowing his name. And that brings us to the target. A manager gets on the PA, people scream, his daughters are upset, and Leanne, as usual, the only functioning adult in that family, goes and tells the manager off. And Bert's contribution is, fucking let it go, who gives a fuck? He's not calming it down, he's defending it. His wife is protecting their daughters, and Bert's siding with the tannoy, because the tannoy said his name. Everyone in that story is embarrassed except the guy it's about. And then 30 seconds later, he tells the sequel, which is even better.
Okay. We went and saw Queen with Adam Lambert, and we were backstage. We got backstage passes, and they saw Sandra Bullock. And my daughters lost her, and my wife lost her, and they wanted to go up and get a picture. And I had to stop them and say, "Hey, she's just here watching a show. Let her have her time." They forget what that. They forget what that's like when you're in like rural, when you're in Coos Bay, San Francisco or California, and you're at a Target and or wherever we were, and you've never really met a famous person, and all of a sudden you find out that someone you've seen is in the building.
Yeah,
it's thrilling.
It's cool. Yeah,
but Shane it's about to happen to Shane.
Yeah.
So his whole family supposedly loses it over Sandra Bullock, and Bert, the seasoned professional, has to physically hold them back. She's just here watching a show. Let her have her time. Same guy, same conversation. 30 seconds after, who gives a fuck, when it was happening to his own kids. So when it's Sandra Bullock, it's sacred. When it's him, let it go. I'm enjoying myself. And then the line underneath it, thrown away so casually I don't think he heard himself. They forget what that's like. When you're in Coos Bay and you've never really met a famous person. His family aren't embarrassed. No, his family have forgotten what a thrill it is to encounter a famous person. That's how he's chosen to understand it. Not my daughters are mortified, but my family have lost touch with how exciting I am. And do I think this happened? No, but I've stopped caring whether the stories are true, because true or not, he wanted it on tape. It's not the lie, it's which lie he picked. And speaking of which, this next bit is Bert on Shane, and it's the cleanest run of the formula I've ever caught.
Here's the deal: is like I've taken him out with me a number of times, to the Super Bowl, to Fully Loaded, both years. I've been with him a lot. I've watched the audience receive him at different times in his career. And when we were at the Super Bowl, I thought this is something's happening. Like I can sense it. So I've seen it happen for me. I've seen it happen for Tom. I've seen it happen for a lot of different people.
Right.
And when we did Fully Loaded this year, it was crazy.
They went nuts for him.
And I went, wow.
Yeah.
I was like, this is about to pop. And he had just taped his special. And I was like, how did it go? And he gave me like a nod, like,
Good.
I got it.
Good.
And so it's and I think it's a perfect storm. I know this isn't stuff that he would want to hear said about him, but like I think there's a huge pushback of people going like, you don't tell me what's funny.
Right.
And the audience members.
Well, Shane's one of those guys, in my opinion, he's funny in any generation. Like some guys are getting, and it's okay.
Yeah.
I might even be one of these guys that like, maybe I'm only having a little bit of success because of the generation.
No.
But I'm just saying, like, he's definitely not, though. He's like, if it was 1950, he'd be where he's at. Versus
I think
if it was
he'd be progressive if it was 1950.
Right. I'm saying like he's not it's not like, oh, because of TikTok or
No.
it's like he's just any algorithm, any medium, he's just going to the top. So that's good.
I think he's
good to see.
There's a lot about him that I would break down that I think make him very funny. But number one, and across the board, is he's actually a really great comedian, and it's a great hour. I watched like the beginning, and then I put it on mute and watched it and read it as I worked out. I'll watch it again. I've seen it before, but I told him, I was like, this is gonna be.
Okay, so I've said before, this is so formulaic, I could write the script before he opens his mouth, and this is the cleanest run I've caught. Watch the beats. Beat 1, the compliment. He's actually a really great comedian. Beat 2, the receipt. I've taken him out with me a number of times. The Super Bowl, Fully Loaded, both years. Because it's not enough that Shane's good, you need to know Bert was there. Beat 3, the prophecy. I could sense it. He didn't just watch it happen, he predicted it. And then beat 4, the downgrade. He's not gonna like what it does to him. Right, fame's going to ruin Shane, a burden that Bert twice in this same podcast tells us he really enjoys. So fame's a gift when it lands on him, and a tragedy when it lands on Shane. And then the one nobody's talking about. I put it on mute and watched it and read it as I worked out. He watched Shane Gillis's hour on mute, with subtitles, on a treadmill. This is the guy who's told us he's seen it 30 times. who was the first to know, who sensed it at the Super Bowl, and he couldn't sit still for 60 minutes and listen to his mate's hour with the sound on. And that hour is one of the best pieces of stand-up anybody's put out this decade. Tight, mean, actually written, joke by joke, the way people used to do it. It's the thing every comedian in that city says they're trying to do, and exactly one of them is doing it. And Bert muted it so it wouldn't get in the way of his cardio. And then he does the single funniest thing in this whole video, and I don't think he even knew he'd done it.
He's not going to like what it does to him.
Right.
It's sadly, a guy like me doesn't mind it, because I'm always been a little bit of a.
You're like life of the party.
I like to have a good time, and if you ask me, like, do I like being famous? Yeah, I do. I don't mind it at all. I actually enjoy it.
Yeah.
And when someone says,
good for you.
I'm sure there's times where it's taxing on my family. It definitely is. We were at Target. Everyone in every Walmart and Target he's about to be their favorite.
That is you too. Like, they should just put your face in the Target sign. You're a fan. You are Target.
He is, and I'm curious to watch that, because like Tom definitely pushed back from it and was like, I do not want to be recognized. He told people, don't come up and talk to me.
Yeah.
Like it's interesting to see how people deal with it. Ari's like that.
Tom's interesting because I feel like Tom will have the arena sold out in the town and could walk past the arena in the middle of the day, and there might be people that don't say anything to him. I mean, his fans will go crazy, but it's like,
no, his fans won't give him.
He's been able to do so well and also maintain his anonymity well as well. Like, he's at the top of the game, but yeah.
We've had people come up to us and they'll recognize him and think it's me.
Right.
And they'll be like, yo, you're Bert. And he'll be like, nope.
Yeah.
He's like, no, you're the Kool-Aid guy. I saw you in the Kool-Aid clip. And he'll be like, nope. And then
That's
I'll
interesting.
walk up and they'll be like, shut the f up. Wait, is he the bald guy on the show? And like,
yeah.
And we went to NASCAR. He maybe got recognized like 5 times. I got recognized like 500 times.
I believe it.
And
yeah.
he was blown away, but I think he also didn't put himself out on social media the way I do. I'm all over TikTok. Like, it's just a way you approach.
Yeah, it depends what you want. It's like your method is right and his method is right. It's just
nothing
what
wrong
people
with
want.
either one. I kind of wish I'd played his game a little bit.
Right.
Because it can be overwhelming.
He tells it again, you guys. Same conversation, same guest, about 3 minutes after the first time. The loudspeaker, the machine is in the building. The whole routine, running back from the top like it never happened. And that's the whole man in one glitch. He's not lying at that point. He's not doing a bit. His brain reached for a story that proves he's famous, and that's the only one in there. He couldn't come up with new evidence, so he handed in the same homework twice and didn't notice. And then DiStefano throws him a bone. You are Target. And Bert takes it. So that's what he's got now. Not the Comedy Store. Not the list Joe reads out on Lex when somebody asks who he actually loves. Target? And then the very last line, and he doesn't hear himself say it. I kind of wish I played his game a little bit. One flash of clarity right at the death in the quietest voice he's got. He knows. So let's land this. Bert's whole career is a proximity play. He stood near the right people at the right time and got very rich off it. And there's no shame in a lucky room. Half of show business is a lucky room. The problem is he thought the room was about him. And Shane didn't take a single thing from him. There's no rivalry here. There never was. Shane never campaigned, never schemed, never worked an angle. He just got very, very good, quietly, for 15 years. Took the worst public firing in modern comedy, without whinging about it once, and then walked back in and broke world records. And Bert's reputation isn't falling because of one bad take. It's falling because the only story he's got left is that people know who he is. And he had to tell that one twice. Shout out Shane. Still the best of the lot. Still doesn't talk about himself. Still doesn't need to. If you enjoyed this one, hit the like button and subscribe. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you in the next one.